Okay, so I want to talk about a feature that's available in the ArcGIS Maps SDK for JavaScript, but only on the CDN. And we know that not a lot of users use the CDN to build apps, right? It's very convenient. You just add a script tag and you're good to go, right? So it's a great way to get started building apps. If you need more build features and stuff later on, you need to integrate it better with some other frameworks, you can still do that, right? But there's a new feature on SCDN I want to talk about, so let's dig right into it. Okay, so I have a basic app here, and I'm going to load a couple of modules in here, right? So do my require for Esri portal, and I'm going to load base map galleries, portal base map source in here. I've got the map components in here. I've got my map, zoom, a little div in here. I have the base map galleries, so if I come in here and say change to human geographic, it's going to update the little div up here with the current base map. The same goes if I change it to like Albers, right? I get these wiki ID, WKID. I say wiki ID, I'm probably not right. WKID reference up here, right? Awesome, great, everything you need to know. But this will require here, it's AMD, it's fine. But we want to kind of make it easier for people to get used to doing stuff. So when they build their apps with bundle tools and everything like that, it looks more like ESM. Okay, so first thing you do is we're going to say that type is going to be equal to module. Oops. All right, so script type module. All right, so let me just go ahead and comment out the top part here, just so I remember what I'm going to need in a second here. All right, so right now the map's still going to load, but we, the base map will load, but it's not going to be the base maps with different projections that we want, right? And this doesn't update here because there's no portal here. So we've probably got an error somewhere telling us that there is no portal object, no portal base map object. So we want to bring those in. Now what you can do, now that we have script type module, I can say const portal is going to be equal to weight. And here's the magic, right? So we have a global called $ArcGIS. It has an import function. All right. No, we're not bringing jQuery back. This is a little global that we have that we can just add something like this import on. Right now, it's pretty much all it has. There might be stuff in the future, but I couldn't say. So it's going to be ArcGIS core / portal / capital portal .js. All right. Perfect. So I'm going to copy this again down here. And then we're going to get this path here. So it's going to go all the way to the widgets, right? And this is the, what do we call this? It's a long name, man. Portal base map source. Oh, I don't want to type that much. For crying out loud. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so now I can get rid of this. So I misspelled this, right? Portal. Let me just copy this here. Base maps source. My bad. My bad. Okay, base maps source. Here we go. There we go. That's money. All right, so now save this real quick. So now we've got everything working again. Awesome. This is Spielhaus. Spielhaus. All right, it's cool. Very goth, man. So what we're doing here is ArcGIS import is a promise. You can just await it here. That's why the script tag has to be type module, right? And this really only works in standalone HTML apps. You really wouldn't do this if you're going to be using like a framework or something or bundling your app. There's really no need to do this, right? You can just go ESM directly or something. You're probably getting a lot more complicated than something like this for your application, right? So let's give that a little bit right there. Now, technically, this works. It's fine, but it's really not right, right? Okay, so let's say what you really should be doing here, because they are promises. You want to await. How do I do this? Okay, so we do this. So we const, and then we do a little bit here. It's gonna be portal, and then we're gonna grab this here. I'm just copy and pasting because I don't feel like typing so much, but I gotta type a lot. So it's gonna be an await promise.all. So I'm gonna copy this here to there. I'm gonna copy this here to there. Let's get rid of this. There we go. Everything's working again, right? So I come over here. I gotta refresh now. There we go. So now I can go over here and I can just start changing some things out. And bam, everything works again just the way it should have, right? So if you're going to be importing more than one module, you're going to want to do something like a promise.all, promise.all resolve, which the signature here is a little bit different, I think. I always forget. And pass an array of the imports that you're doing. If not, and you have to wait here and then wait here, technically you're blocking for every weight you've got, right? So you block this one till it loads, then you block this one till it loads. But when you do it like this, they're both going to load simultaneously and get loaded together when they're both ready, right? Now, it may not matter if you have one or two, but if you got 3, 4, 5, 6, a dozen imports on your page, you don't want a dozen blocks happening as each one gets loaded synchronously, right? There's no async there. You kind of lose the advantage of it. So use something like promise to all, and you're good to go. Now, once again, this is only available on the CDN, right? This is not in the NPM package. You won't find it there, so please don't look. So if you're building apps at the CDN, that's what you want to do. All right. So I think this is a really cool feature for users of the CDN of the ArcGIS Maps SDK to get started building apps. It's much more modern, right? To add our own kind of loader for everything behind the scenes. This also means that, you know, if for whatever reason we decide not to use AMD for the build in the future, we can change that, and you don't have to rewrite your CDN apps, right? Because the ArcGIS import will be there to handle loading however we're loading stuff, regardless of how it's built. So don't worry about that. You also notice here that instead of importing from the Esri pass, I'm importing from ArcGIS Core. This is the same as what's on the NPM package, the ESM, right? And what happens here is that you're not loading the ESM. We swizzle the calls behind the scene to import the Esri paths the way it should be. Sorry, a little got held up there. My brain just kind of. So, all right, cool. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you like this, please comment, like, subscribe. Feel free to hit me up with any questions. Thanks.